Alright, hi everyone. Welcome back into another episode of Matt Sports Talk. And in this video, we are going to be recapping all the women's games from yesterday. And I will also get you set up for the Crossroads League tournament that is going to be coming your way this week as well. And before we dive in, I just want to say that for those of you that are already subscribed to my channel, thank you so much for doing so. I really appreciate that. And I also appreciate any feedback that you may provide me. And I am very thankful to have you as a subscriber on my channel. And I also hope that you are enjoying all my content. I hope you're finding it very helpful and informative, especially as we enter into the last week of February, believe it or not. Conference tournaments are here, national tournaments right around the corner. So please, if you have not already done so, please subscribe down below so you are first notified whenever I upload new episodes, because this is the place to be really over the next month. So again, and especially as we go through a national tournament, as long as the Crossroads League schools stay in the national tournament hunt, I'll be recapping those games, and of course I'll be updating my printed out national tournament bracket. I'll be sharing daily updates after each individual round, how well I've done for my second year of doing it. So again, this is the place to be literally over the next month, per near exactly. So again, please subscribe down below so you do not miss out on any of this important information. So the first matchup from yesterday on the women's side, since I just recapped the men's side, now we're going to recap the women's side. Last regular season episode. Hard to believe that we are there, that it's been 3 months since I officially started my very first season of Matt Sports Talk in terms of recapping the whole entire Crossroads League season, because I started doing this last January. So my very first full season has been a lot of fun, and I hope that you have been with me every step of the way to be able to watch not watch, but for you to follow along with all my content. And if you have missed any of the episodes over the last 3 months, you can go back and catch up on every single episode. You can go to Matt Sports Talk Season 2 playlist, and it's titled 2025/26 season. So make sure you go on there, click on that playlist, and catch up to all my other episodes in case you have missed out on any over the last 3 months. So our matchup yesterday, Mount Vernon Nazarene hosted Taylor. Mount Vernon Nazarene with a major upset here, 85-82. MVNU, though, does miss out on the Crossroads League tournament, even though they finished tied for 8th, which is exactly where I had them projected. Grace, I believe, was projected 9th in preseason. I believe I also had them projected 9th. So literally, I got these two teams exactly right for where they finished. Of course, Goshen finished last. I had them projected last. So obviously, these final 3 teams, I actually did not do that bad. Of course, Taylor, I had them projected 7th. That's exactly where they finished. So believe it or not, I accurately nailed 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, respectively, for where these teams finished, meaning Taylor, Mount Vernon Nazarene, Grace, and Goshen. And obviously MVNU, why they are eliminated from the playoff race was because they even though they finished tied with Grace at 4-14 in league play, Grace, though, getting that common opponent tiebreaker because of the upset win over Indiana Wesleyan back on January 10th at IWU, and Mount Vernon Nazarene got swept by IWU, so that's obviously why Grace finished ahead of them. And for Mount Vernon Nazarene, they won their final game of the season at home on their senior day, so obviously that's a major achievement. And Casey Warfel was back in the starting lineup for Taylor. She missed the last game, not sure why, not sure if it was due to injury or the fact that maybe she just sat out that last game against Spring Arbor, because that game did not matter to Taylor because they had already locked up the 7th seed in the Crossroads League tournament, which obviously that would make sense if that is the reason why she did not play in that one. But she came back, played really well yesterday. 35 points, 15 of 31 shooting, 4 of 8 from deep, 1 of 2 at the line. She had 3 rebounds and 2 steals, 16 points from Maddie Allen, 6 of 12 shooting, 1 of 3 from deep, 3 of 4 at the line, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 14 points from Marissa Trout, 5 of 9 shooting, 1 of 4 from deep, 3 of 5 at the line. She had 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 block. 5 points for Emma Anselit with 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals, and 1 block. Really, really good balanced numbers there. And 4 points for Quinn Kelly with 7 rebounds. And then off the bench, Emma Full with 3 points and 2 assists. Selena Blount did not score, believe it or not, but she had 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 4 blocks, though. So again, really, really good to see that. 2 minutes of action, Katie Moyer had a rebound. And then Micaiah Musselman, 11 minutes of action with 5 points. 2 of 2 shooting, 1 of 2 at the line with 2 rebounds and 2 steals. And Taylor shot 44 from the field, so not really too terribly bad. 30 from 3, and they really struggled at the free throw line, converting 9 out of 16 for 56%. Obviously, the free throws, that obviously makes your difference, because if you make 4 more free throws, you win the game by 1 point. So obviously the free throw line it was just absolutely dismal to Taylor yesterday, but still really, really good effort for them on the road. And Taylor and Mount Vernon actually had 9 more turnovers than Taylor did, so that was obviously another major stat. And then looking at the stats for MVNU, Kylie Leibacher, 22 points, 10 of 16 shooting, 2 of 2 at the line. She had 3 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals. 6 points for Melody Bluebaugh, 2 of 6 shooting, 1 of 5 from deep. 9 rebounds, 2 assists, and a block. 8 points for Abigail Hardwick. Now 4 of the 8 were at the free throw line, though. She also had 6 assists, 1 rebound, 1 steal. 8 points for Lily Shepard with 2 rebounds and 2 assists. And then Angela Roshak, 22 points, 8 of 11 shooting, 6 of 7 at the line with 6 rebounds and 1 block. Then off the bench, Olivia Skillings had 2 rebounds and an assist in 5 minutes of action. Naomi Kaib, 4 points. Now all 4 were at the free throw line, though. 5 rebounds and 1 steal for her. 3 points for Jenna Brumbaugh in 3 minutes of action, which was from beyond the arc. 1 rebound for her. And then 12 points for Anna Swisshelm. 6 of 9 shooting with 5 rebounds and 1 assist. And MVNU shot way better from the field at 52. They were worse from 3 at 21. And they were really good at the free throw line, converting 19 out of 24 for 79. And that was your matchup there. The next matchup takes us to Winona Lake, Indiana, where Grace hosted Goshen. And this was a really good game. Now, Grace was up 23 points at one point. Goshen nearly came back in the fourth quarter, outscoring Grace 23-9, but it was too little too late. Grace was able to ice it at the free throw line with free throws by Maddie Pointer in the closing seconds. And Grace, though, 86-82. And leading the way for Goshen, you had 26 points for Ava Egolf, 13 of 25 shooting, 7 rebounds, and 1 steal. You had 5 points for Kyla Foster, 2 of 3 shooting, but she had 10 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals, though. 3 points for Nyesha Goss, 3 of 4 at the line, so all 3 points actually were at the free throw line. 1 rebound and 2 steals. Only 2 points for Sarah Elfrey, but she had 3 rebounds and a block. Off the bench, Palacia Islam with 11 points, 4 of 11 shooting, 2 of 8 from deep, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. 20 points for Zion Finesse, 7 of 14 shooting, 6 of 8 at the line, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. And then Kyla Smith, 2 minutes of action, no statistics. 8 minutes of action, Lucia Luke Morales with two rebounds and 1 assist. And Carrie Heiler, 4 of 6 shooting, 1 of 1 at the line, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 9 points for her. Goshen shot really good from the field at 44, struggled from 3 at just 11, and they struggled at the free throw line, converting 14 out of 21 for 66. Meanwhile, for Grace, they shot slightly worse from the field at 41. They were better from 3, albeit by not too terribly much, at 26, and they were way, way better at the free throw line, converting 15 out of 18 for 83. And, of course, their 2 seniors that they honored yesterday, Molly Long and Becca Longenbaugh, they got some good playing time. Now, Longenbaugh only had 3 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 steal, and for Molly Long, she did not score, but she had 2 rebounds. But leading the way was Emma Sperry, and really, who else for the Lady Lancers? 31 points for her, 12 of 21 shootings for the young sophomore, 5 of 9 from deep, 2 of 2 at the line, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. 23 points for Maddie Pointer. Now, 7 of the 23 were at the free throw line, though. She had 12 rebounds and 1 steal, and 11 points for Morgan Houck, 4 of 14 shooting, 2 of 2 at the line, with 10 assists, 9 rebounds, so almost a triple-double for her. She also had 1 steal, and then off the bench you had Abby Retzema with no statistics, as well as Kate Thomas, and as well as Paula Fernandez. And then you had 2 points for Braylon Terrell, which were both at the free throw line, though, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block. And then you had Becca Gert, 16 points, 7 of 13 shooting, 2 of 2 at the line with 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, and a block. And then Riley Wetz had a steal in 4 minutes of action. And Grace shot, I mentioned Grace's numbers a few minutes ago, and that was your matchup there. The next matchup takes us to Indianapolis, Indiana, where number 4 Marion hosted Huntington, and Marion, no problem here, 72-47. Marion officially wins the Crossroads League regular season, and they punch their ticket via an auto bid to the national tournament, and they get home court advantage throughout the league tournament as the number 1 seed. And leading the way for Huntington, 12 points for Annika Nelson, who did not miss a shot, 5 of 5 from the floor, 1 of 1 from deep, 1 of 1 at the line. She had 6 rebounds and 1 steal, 5 points for Tegan Akers, 2 of the 5 were at the free throw line, though. She also had 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 3 points for Addie Shank with 7 rebounds and a block, 10 points for Liv Raby, 3 of 7 shooting, 1 of 2 from deep, 3 of 4 at the line, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, and 8 points for Kendra Sheets. Now, 3 of the 8 were at the free throw line, though. She also had 2 rebounds and 2 assists. And off the bench, 3 points for Izzy Shepard in 9 minutes of action with 2 rebounds. And then you had Peyton Hartsoe had an assist and a steal. Kendall Yoakum did not score either off the bench, but she had 1 rebound and 1 assist. And Lauren Merritt in 17 minutes of action, 6 points, 3 of 3 shooting, and 11 rebounds and 4 blocks. Really, really good to see that. And Huntington, though, they continue struggling shooting at just 29% from the floor, 26 from deep. Now, one bright spot for Huntington, they were excellent at the free throw line, converting 9 out of 10 for 90. And then you had for Marion, they shot better, way better from the field at 40, worse from 3 at just 15, and they were slightly worse at the free throw line, but still not too terribly bad, 10 out of 14 for 71. And leading the way for Marion, really, who else here? Abby McNally, 23 points, 21 rebounds, another double-double, 11 of 24 shooting, 1-1 at the line, 2 steals and 3 blocks, 8 points for her sister Kylie, 3 of 9 shooting, 2 of 3 at the line with 2 rebounds and 1 assist, 3 steals, 1 block as well. 13 points for Madison Bailey, 4 of 11 shooting, 5 of 8 at the line, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 6 points for Olivia Faust, 1 rebound, 1 assist, and 4 points for Kenna Kirby. 2 of the 4 with the free throw line, though, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 steals. Really, really good to see that. Off the bench, Aubrey Frank, 2 points, in 1 minute of action. Kennedy Coleman with 1 rebound. And 6 minutes of action, Taylor Double with 9 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, 7 points for Zoe Wheeler, 3 of 6 shooting, 1 of 2 from deep with a rebound, an assist, and a steal. And Emily Grimm in 3 minutes of action did not score. And that was your matchup there. The next matchup will take us to Fort Wayne, Indiana, where number 7 St. Francis hosted number 16 Spring Arbor. St. Francis, the winners here, 61-44. So the Cougars out of Fort Wayne win this game. And the first time these two teams met in Spring Arbor, it was 53-50 in favor of St. Francis. So obviously this game was a little bit different than that. And for Spring Arbor, you had 10 points for Megan Zeitz, 3 of 10 shooting, 2 of 4 from deep, 2 of 4 at the line. She had 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. 3 points for Elena Colesa, which was all at the charity stripe, 3 rebounds and a steal. 4 points for Haven Chapman with 5 rebounds and a block. 5 points for Emma Smyska, 4 rebounds and an assist. 4 points for Ashley Weller with 3 rebounds and an assist. Off the bench, you had Elena Blumberg with a rebound. Lexi Linder with a steal. 5 points for Madison Socini with 4 rebounds and a steal. 6 points for Rachel Reichard, 3 of 4 shooting with a rebound. 4 points for Rylan Goodwin, which is all charity stripe. 1 rebound, or 1 assist, 1 steal. I stand corrected. 3 points for Aubrey Crockett with 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and a block. And then Aubrey Calloway with a rebound, and Kylie Summer with a rebound. And Spring Arbor really struggled shooting at 28, 15% from 3. And they were also struggled at the free throw line, converting 11 out of 18 for 61. And meanwhile, for St. Francis, they shot better from the field at 46, better from 3 at 28, and they were way better at the free throw line, converting 11 out of 14 for 78. And leading the way for St. Francis was Julia Mantala with 15 points, 5 of 8 shooting, 2 of 5 from deep, 3 of 4 at the line, 3 rebounds and a block. 9 points for Renna Schweiderman with 10 rebounds, so almost a double-double. 3 assists, 4 steals as well. 4 points for Taylor Fordyce with 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals. 10 points for Isabella Gizzi with 11 rebounds, so a double-double for her. 3 of 7 shooting, 2 of 3 from deep, 2 of 2 at the line with 2 assists. And Callie Gregory with 10 points, 5 of 10 shooting. She had 6 rebounds and 1 steal to go along with that. And off the bench, Samaya Stout, 11 points, 4 of 4 shooting, 3 of 3 at the line, 2 assists, 1 steal. Diona Craig with 1 rebound and 2 minutes of action. Ashley Cox, no statistics. Allison Shue, 2 points both at the free throw line in 6 minutes of action with a steal. Emma Royce with 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal in 9 minutes of action. And Rachel Harshman, 2 minutes of action, no statistics. And that was your matchup there. And last but not least, the final matchup takes us to Marion, Indiana, where Receiving Boats Indiana Wesleyan face off against Bethel. And man, what a basketball game this was. It just does not get any better than this. And Indiana Wesleyan, they prevail in an overtime thriller, 63-56. I was at this game, just an absolute electric atmosphere. I would not have wanted to be anywhere else but yesterday on our home court, in our home facility, in our home university. It just was absolutely amazing. And barring a miracle in either the league tournament or potentially the national tournament, we don't know where all that's going to stand right at the moment, but barring any miracles there, potentially the very last game in Lucky Arena for IWU women's basketball, it does not get any better than this. And man, what a way to potentially go out with winning in overtime. This was the first overtime win for head coach Ethan Whaley since January of 2022. at Mount Vernon Nazarene by 6 points. And of course, that was just his third overtime win as a head coach. 3-5 now it is his record in overtime games. And for the Lady Wildcats, they win a game when scoring under 70 points, which I believe, I know I wrote this down on my planner, all the stats. I believe they are, I want to say 4-8. I want to say 4-8 are Lady Wildcats when scoring under 70 points. And they go to 11, I know for sure, they go to 11-2 this year when leading at halftime. And not just that, they finished the year winning 7 out of their last 10 games after they lost at Marion last January, or not last January, but when they lost at Marion a little over a month ago. They were 3-5 in conference play at that time, and after that they went 7-3 the rest of the way in conference, 6-3 officially in the second half of conference. So compared to I believe 4-5 at the end of the first half of conference play. So man, to go 6-3 the rest of the way, what a job by this Lady Wildcats team. They did not quit. And man, I'm so blessed to be able to support them this year. And in terms of our record and with us in attendance, we finished maybe it was 4-7. I want to say with us in attendance this year. So again, and of course, 2 of those wins were against Mount Vernon, and the other win was against Goshen before yesterday. So, and in fact, with us in attendance, yesterday was the very first time we had been in attendance when Indiana Wesleyan beat a team that was not Mount Vernon Nazarene or Goshen. So, man, like that's just absolutely amazing. And now for the Bethel Pilots, they played a really good game, and I definitely applaud them for their effort. Heck of a team. Head coach Scott Paulsgrove does an amazing job. He's really turned this team around, as well as his assistant coach Austin Hawkins, which I do want to give him a shout out because he came up to me before the game yesterday and gave me a Bethel Pilot shirt, and he said that he's like, man, I love your content. I watch every single one of your videos. I've seen you wearing Indiana Wesleyan shirts, Mount Vernon Nazarene shirts when you've done your videos, and now I want to get you a Bethel Pilot shirt. So I just want to say, Coach Hawkins, I really, really appreciate that, and thank you so much for being a faithful subscriber, not just here on my YouTube channel, but thank you so much for watching every single one of my videos, and I hope that they are super helpful and informative to you, especially as now we are heading into the conference tournament, and of course the national tournament right around the corner. I don't know if y'all are going to make nationals or not, but even if y'all don't, you've had a really, really good year compared to where your team has been over the last several years. So, man, again, great effort yesterday. Fully respect your program, despite being a big Indiana Wesleyan fan. But I also will say that I actually graduated from Mount Vernon Nazarene. I attended there from 2016 to 2021. So I definitely wanted to mention that today if you are watching this video, Coach Hawkins. And of course, I became a big Indiana Wesleyan fan back actually about 4 years ago, but 2022/23 season. Became a really big fan of them. And we've been to a lot of their games. Got the chance to go to visit several universities on the road that we had never been to in the 23/24 season, which was Huntington and as well as y'all's place up in Mishawaka at Bethel. And that, man, it's a great university up there. Excellent gym, excellent facility, and a very, very tough place to play in for visiting teams. Then, of course, last season we got the chance to visit Grace and Marion, the final 2 teams in the Crossroads League that we had never been to before. Again, 2 very, very tough places to play in, and I think Marion is the toughest place to play in out of all of them. And real quick, before I go over the stats from this game, I just want to give, I wanted to give Coach Hawkins a shout out with the Bethel shirt that he gave me. So yeah, man, thanks so much, Coach, for this shirt. Really, really appreciate that. Really meant a lot to me for you coming up to me yesterday and giving me that. So again, I really, really appreciate that. And that is just absolutely awesome. That is for sure. And again, can't wait to see how good you all are going to be in the years ahead. So looking at stats for Bethel, you had 20 points from Mariah Claywell. Boy, what a job for this amazing senior. 9 of 16 shooting, 1 of 5 from deep, 1 of 5 at the 1 at the line. She also had 5 rebounds and 2 steals. You had 5 points for Isabella No with 10 assists, 5 rebounds and 3 steals. 7 points for Isabel Scales, 3 of 9 shooting, 1 of 2 at the line with 3 rebounds and 1 assist. And then you had Olivia Nickerson with 9 points, 3 of 6 shooting, 3 of 4 that was from beyond the arc, 4 rebounds, and 1 steal for her. Man, she is going to be an excellent, excellent player these last 2 years for the Lady Pilots. 9 points for Jasmine Smith with 6 rebounds and 2 blocks. Really, really good numbers there. And off the bench, you had Hannah Ruddle, did not score. You had Jocelyn Marshall with 4 points, 2 of the 4 at the free throw line with 1 rebound. You had 2 points for Justice Williams with 2 rebounds, and Love Rain Gaskins and Annabelle Wilhite did not score. And Bethel didn't shoot the ball bad. 41 from the field, 26 from 3, so they struggled in that category. They were decent at the free throw line, converting 6 out of 9 for 66. And leading the way for Indiana Wesleyan. Indiana Wesleyan actually shot slightly worse from the field at 35 and slightly better from 3, albeit by not a lot, at 27, and way, way better at the free throw line, converting 20 out of 24 for 83. And 16 turnovers for IWU, 17 for Bethel. Now at halftime, I believe it was 12 turnovers for Bethel and only 5 for IWU. So IWU had 11 turnovers in the second half. Bethel only had 5. So obviously there was another major difference in the game. And leading the way for Indiana Wesleyan, how about the young freshman from Shelby, Michigan, Addie Hovey, 21 points, 10 of 10 at the free throw line, 10 rebounds as well. So a double-double for her, 5 of 13 shooting, 1 of 2 from deep, and she had the go-ahead three-pointer in overtime. And that was an excellent shot, and I was just cheering her on like, man, you go, Addie, like, this is awesome. And that definitely shifted the momentum in the Wildcats' favor at that time, and shifted the momentum, and obviously the Wildcats did not look back after that. Addie also had 1 assist and 1 steal. You got 6 points for Kylie Bettinger, 2 of 5 shooting, 2 of 4 from deep, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. 2 points for Mila Browning with 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. 16 points for Ayla Krieger, 6 of 15 shooting, 4 of 6 at the line, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals. And 7 points for Jade Hovey, the lone senior, 3 of 10 shooting, 1 of 2 at the line, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 steals. Really, really good numbers there. And, of course, I attended an event yesterday right after the game as a way of celebrating Jade, and that was just an amazing, amazing event to go to. And thanks to Coach Whaley for inviting us, and it was just an absolutely amazing time yesterday, being able to support Jade and everything she's done as a player for the Lady Wildcats, and definitely looking forward to her being the next GA for the next 2 seasons. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be absolutely awesome, and I know she's going to make an excellent GA and an excellent, potentially, head coach, depending on where her career takes her. And off the bench for the Lady Wildcats, Haley Amy had 1 rebound, 1 assist, and 1 block. 3 points for Tori Thompson, which was all from beyond the arc. 3 rebounds as well. 5 points for Corinne Grivey. Now 2 of the 5 were at the free throw line, though. She also had 3 rebounds and 1 assist, and 3 points for Ellie Kelleher. Now they were all at the free throw line, though, in 9 minutes of action. 3 assists and 1 steal for her. And that was your matchup there. And that concludes recapping all the games from yesterday. Looking now, previewing the games for the Crossroads League tournament. You will have 8 seed Grace at 1 seed Marion. You will also have number 2 seed St. Francis hosting the 7 seed Taylor, and you will have number 4 Huntington hosting number 5 Indiana Wesleyan. And all those games will be at 6 o'clock Tuesday night, which is kind of strange because typically it's at 7. And the other matchup, you'll have 3 seed Spring Arbor hosting 6 seed Bethel. So the final conference standings, you had Marion 16-2, obviously the winners of the regular season, and they punched their ticket to the first auto bid for nationals. St. Francis 15-3, Spring Arbor 13-5, Bethel, Huntington, Indiana Wesleyan all finished tied for 4th at 10-8. Taylor finished 7th at 7-11. Grace finished, and Mount Vernon Nazarene finished tied for 8th. Grace, though, getting that tiebreaker, both at 4-14. And Goshen finished 1-17 in league play. And looking at where everybody finished, you had Marion finished first, St. Francis second. I had those 2 teams in that exact order. Spring Arbor finished third. I had IWU third, so I wasn't that far off because IWU finished tied for 4th. I had Bethel finishing, I believe I had them finishing 6th, so I pretty much nailed that. Again, I don't remember them for sure. I had Huntington finishing 5th. They finished officially 4th, so I nailed them as well. And then, of course, I mentioned Bethel, mentioned Huntington, mentioned IWU. I had them 3rd. They finished technically 5th, so pretty even there. I had Taylor finishing 7th, exactly where they finished. I believe I had Grace finishing 9th, and they finished 8th, so pretty much even there. Had Mount Vernon Nazarene I had Mount Vernon Nazarene 8th. They finished 9th, pretty even there. And then I had Goshen finishing last, and that's exactly where they finished. So that is a look at that. Now, in terms of national tournament, very, very quickly, Marion, of course, we know is locked. St. Francis for sure in. Spring Arbor for sure in. 26-2, 25-3, and 22-6 overall, respectively. Teams on the bubble: Bethel 19-9, Huntington 18-10, Indiana Wesleyan 16-12. I don't think Taylor gets in right now unless they run the league tournament, which is possible. And I don't think Bethel gets in because of not really having a really strong non-conference schedule. Again, anything can happen, but I think Bethel's best chance is running the league tournament and advancing to a title game against Marion. That, I think, is Bethel's only chance of getting in. For Huntington, I think their only chance of getting in is running the whole entire tournament, or at least getting to the second round against Marion. And if they lose to Marion again, let's just say by over 30 points, I just don't see Huntington being in. So right now, I would say the only team more than likely that gets in would be Indiana Wesleyan. But again, that's going to be a little bit of a stretch. So it's going to be interesting to see how all that plays out. So that is a brief overview of all of that. So again, I hope that you enjoyed this video here today. And I know it's been 26 minutes long, but I hope that the content was very helpful. I hope that you found it very informative. And if you did, please either like, comment, or subscribe. Any one of those options helps me out greatly. So thanks so much for tuning into this video, and I'll be back with you tomorrow going over the updated RPI numbers. Second to last RPI update coming your way tomorrow. The final one before the national tournament will be next Monday. So I'll be recording a video tomorrow going over the second to last RPI numbers. Make sure that you stay tuned for that. And the final ARC and quad numbers are going to be coming out next, I believe it's next Monday and Tuesday, respectively, right before the national tournament. Make sure that you stay tuned for all of that as well. Thanks so much for tuning into this video. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow recapping or going over the final, or the second to last RPI numbers. God bless.